I bet. I'm live on YouTube. What's going on, good people? Oh, let me get the other platforms up real quick. Hang on. Get TikTok going. Get what up TikTok? We get Instagram going. We get Facebook going. Okay. We did it again. Yes, we did. Yeah, we'll let everybody get everybody time. Kind of get in the room real quick. We did it again, man. Another episode. I'm gonna write the category and y'all stay with me. I'm trying to. It's the Real Talk. Real Talk Live. I do this every Sunday. Real Talk Live. Okay, post. Hold on. Let me pin. All right, cool. Y'all stay with me. I'm finna get it going. Finna get the show going today. Another episode of Real Talk Live, man, where I get to go over, different issues that's actually going on in the world, going on around Nashville. We're gonna touch bases on got a couple things to go touch bases on. Something that's going on in Nashville. We got something going on nationally with the what's going on political. And I'm also gonna touch bases on, of course, a story from the past on how it happened to me when I was, have had a different lifestyle. And then we also go talk about the truck situation that seemed to got everybody's attention right now. We're gonna touch bases on that too. So this is gonna be a real fun, interesting show today, man. I'm really looking forward to it, man. I appreciate y'all. And again, we'll go ahead and kick it off, man. So if you're on YouTube, go to One Man, One More Landscape. We go to One Man, One More Landscaping on YouTube. You can put your comments up. I put people's comments up on the screen on my YouTube page. But it's getting ready to be lit tonight, man. We go hit some topics. So let me go ahead and get it started, man. Another episode of Real Talk Live, man. This is something, man, I started this year. I'm really finna pick it up and really try to do something with this thing for real, man. This is why I get to have fun. And y'all I get to let y'all know more about me as a person and what I'm trying to do out here. So again, for those who don't know me yet, let me go on and give it to y'all. I'm John Crawley, One Man, One More Landscaping. I am that guy, self-made out of Nashville, Tennessee. Definitely putting on for the city down here. Like I said, it's another episode of Real Talk Live, man. Oh my goodness. So, and this is what I'm gonna do, man. And I already did the introduction and everything. Let me go straight into my sponsor. You know what I'm saying? That's Red Dog Supplies, man. That's one of the first brand that actually took a chance on Crowley, man. They representative came down here to Nashville like sometime in I think it was late June, sometime in June. We vibed out, build a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So she was able to see my skills to pay the bills, and she was also able to assist me in filming things like that. We got to a good point. Red Dog, they basically sponsor me. They make sure I have the things that I need in my life regarding my business for me to keep going. I don't never take things like that for granted, man, because they could have picked somebody else, but they decided to go with Crawler Kid, man. So again, shout out to Red Dog Supplies, Lauren. We locked in for real, man. So, and that's what it's about, building relationships. And I definitely stand 10 toes down on that. That's what it's all about. You can have all the information that you have in your mind, but who will actually help you get there a lot faster, okay? I'm telling y'all, man, and again, shout out to Red Dog, man, for taking the chance on me. And I'm going to hold down my end of the bargain like I always do. Keep throwing y'all up, keep promoting you, keep supporting you. If you want to use Red Dog, go to www.reddogsupplies.com. After you get through placing your order, use code 1M1M, okay? Code 1M1M. Receive your discount, man. It's always convenient to order online. The convenience of your own home, the convenience of your cell phone. Order your weed eater string, the blades. They got everything for all the different brands. Get that stuff shipped to your home. That way you can chill and worry about taking care of your business and have the merchandise come to you. That's what you want for real. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's moving towards a internet phase to where everybody likes to order online. Utilize the service, man, and receive a discount, okay? Now we'll go ahead to the next thing. See, on YouTube, you ever see I got tickers going across the bottom, so you know what I'm talking about. For those who want to go on YouTube, feel free. You know what I'm saying? Also subscribe to it if you don't mind. But the spotlight of the week, I'm giving it to my son, Young Ace, man. Man, it's my therapy dog right here, and I know y'all hear me make reference to this little man all the time, man. He eats better than humans, man. I feed him hamburger meat, steaks, chicken. Dog is costing me over $200 some a month just to feed him, man. Like, he can get the world from me, for real. So hold on, let me see if I can get him to get a little spotlight. Come here, Ace, come here. You the spotlight of the week. Come here, come here. Get up, up, so they can see you. Okay, come over a little bit more. They can see you. Okay, this Young Ace right here. This is the spotlight of the week. This is my big ass pit bull that weighs like 84 pounds right now. He a big boy. So that's the spotlight of the week. That's my therapy dog. So he gets the word from me. So let me see here. Let me take a swig. Y'all stay with me. Let me take another swig. Okay. Now let's see what we got here. Let's see what's on deck next, man. Okay. The next thing is I like to talk about a story from my past. Last week I told y'all about some of the things I used to do when I used to go out and go to the clubs and everything, how I used to get my kicks, you know, when I used to do things in the club setting. This story right here, it happened to me back in 05. You know what I'm saying? When I was really young, roughly about, I think I was like 23, 22, 23. This is when I was, you know, I was full-fledged. I was still working, but I always was in, they call it the trap. I hustle, used to have the grass, you know what I'm saying? I used to hustle. That was my drug of choice where I used to pitch around out here in Nashville. In 05, it happened. I think my son was born the 28th of October in 05. This incident happened. I think it happened like early that month. Everything was going peaches and cream like how I normally do out here in the city. I'm riding around catching my sales and everything. I'm not gonna mention no names. You know, one individual called me. I went through there and served him. Then he called me again for almost the same thing. I doubled back. When they called him again. I had a friend with me in the car. Next thing I know, when I double back, you know what I'm saying, I didn't see it coming because I was naive to it then. Next thing I know, when I went up to serve him the second time, I had a shotgun put in my face, you know what I'm saying? I already knew what it was, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, nigga getting robbed. Then my homeboy had another dude with a shotgun on his side. They had me pinned down, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't do nothing. So they had us get out the car. We got down on the ground and everything. So they took my huaraches that I had on. They took my shoes. They took the money that I just made from them. And they got whatever little product that they got. I think it was like only like all total with just an ounce. You know what I'm saying? Just one juice. That's all they got from me. And I thought they expected me to have more because it was at the end of the night. But I was always smart to make sure I had with me what I was going to take care to get rid of. So I made sure I didn't have no worries. But during that moment when they had me on the ground, one of them robbers took it upon themselves to kick me in my jaw. Broke my jaw, straight down my lower jaw, broke it. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about spitting all type of blood. But before they got me out the car, he headbutted me right here in the head with the shotgun. The gun could have went off. I could have been dead out there. But it was something bigger in store for me. So I'm dazed already. I'm down on the ground. I remember one of them kicked me in my face, man, while I was on the ground. I was like, to where like, I was constantly spitting blood out. You know what I'm saying? This happened in 05 in October, right before my son was born. And I remember they couldn't steal the car because I was in my my children's mother's car, which was a manual. It was a stick shift, so they couldn't drive off in it. You know You know what I'm saying? So during that moment, me and my guy had to go and they kicked my guy, my best friend, they kicked his tooth out. They stomped on his head and to where his mouth went on the ground and it chipped out his tooth. So we left away, and I remember going back home because my mama lived real close. I went back home. And then when I got there, my mom and them seen my blood everywhere, and they called the police and everything to where like they got involved in it. And I know back then I was real temperamental. The only thing I wanted to do, I wanted to do something to him so bad. But I knew the police got involved in it, bro. I couldn't really. It was an awful situation for me, man. That's all that I say. And it took me, and then I had to go to the hospital. And and then when I woke up out of surgery, bro, I was wired up, man, like Kanye West, man, for real. I had it wired up to where like they let me open my mouth to like eat some, and I had rubber bands that I used to have to tie around my teeth to keep my mouth closed. Bro, I used to have to work. I worked at St. Thomas Hospital during this time, and I remember I had this gash on my head, mouth wide up. The only thing I can remember back in them days, I wanted to do something to them guys so bad. The only thing that really saved me then is when my son was born. When I seen my son come out, I knew I had to let it go. I couldn't really do nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? And it really messed me up pretty bad when I went through that encounter. And that's why, like, I don't look too highly on people that rob people, man, because they watch somebody grind up and they just some damn haters. Now, it's just a personal thing because of what I went through. Anybody that go out and just go take somebody's shit and just rob people, bro, I just look so down on you. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't hustle to get it on your own. You got to go try to take somebody else's that's getting it out here. I said, what type of shit is that? Bro, that encounter, it hurt me mentally for about like almost a year. It took me a year to really to get past that shit. And the people who did it was so lame, but they got the ups on me. I couldn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Bro, broke my jaw, had me sick. And then I was hearing the stories going around how they got me for like 5 whole ones, $10,000, all this stuff. Bro, they got me for my Huaraches, $100. Really, $50 I just got from them. And they got the other half of the juice. That's all they got from me. And they spreading all these lies on how they had me so frustrated. But when my son was born, it slowed me down to where like I had to look at life a little bit differently because my best friends, they all of them went to jail in January. The people I used to roll with, my brother from another mother, he went down, had to do a stint, and I ain't mentioning no names, but people put the stories together, the years, you know who I'm talking about. So I lost 2 of my guys because they ended up getting robbed, and that whole situation went left. You know what I'm saying? To where people died and everything when they tried to come for my brother now. And I ain't gonna even bring up no names and nothing. I can only talk about my situation when I got robbed. But bro, that really let me know personally that these streets is serious out here, man. You gotta be able to maneuver right if you was in that world. And this is just a story from my past. Like this was like 20 years ago when I got hit and got robbed. And the things that I had to endure mentally to get past having my jaw broke, shotgun in my face, you know what I'm saying, clip me right here. It's like, man, it's just amazing that I really survived that when I hear about so many stories about guys in their early 20s when they really out here and they go through experiences like it, bro, they don't survive. They don't survive, for real. And I knew it was something bigger in store for me. So that situation really was an eye-opener for me. And that happened during 05 to where I had to start maneuvering different. And that's pretty much all I got on this story, man, because there's going to be more stories and I'm going to give y'all from my past to kind of let y'all know my background on how far I came from the lifestyle I used to live to where, like, right now, I let that type of grass go to start cutting grass out here on the streets, you know what I'm saying, around Nashville, Tennessee. To where like that was that this field that I chose, that chose me, that's why I represent it so hard, because it really changed my life. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of my stories from my past, you know what I'm saying? And that's real talk. And I ain't mention no names, who was there. I ain't even mad at them guys no more because they caught me slipping, but I don't care too much for people who rob, man. I just know it's a part of the game out here, and I understand why it happens, but I didn't too much care for it. Let me take another swig and we'll change the topic, man. But that was a rough situation for me right there, and I remember it still to this day kind of vividly, getting up off the ground, and I got all this blood coming out of my mouth because one of them kicked me in my jaw. And at the end of the day, the one that kicked me in the jaw, he's the only one I really wanted. I didn't care nothing about the other ones because they ain't really touch me. I want the guy who hit me in the head with that shotgun and the one that kicked me. Them the two, if they was the same person, that's the one I wanted. I ain't gonna even lie. That's the one right there. Because he inflicts so much unnecessary harm, and I gave him everything. I gave them everything, man, and they did that to me. You right, man. I'll never forget that, man. But it learned me that these streets ain't nice out here, man. For real. For anybody who's still straddling the fence, and you gotta look over your shoulders for the police, the robbers, and every people getting over on you, people that gonna pay you your money. You got all of these people, these factors. For me to let that shit go and just cut grass so I don't have to look over my shoulders no more, it's priceless. Priceless. For real. Now I can just go wherever I want to do, not worrying about that. Ain't nobody looking at me because of what I do right now. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest flex ever. Ever. That's why I represent this industry so hard, because it freed me from it. You know what I'm saying? To where like I feel like now I'm making more money than I did hustling. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't get my wealth in them streets. It's always something that's go left, to where you can't get no real wealth in this shit unless you invest. Now, when you invest, some shit go left because of what you did to get there. You know what I'm saying? You don't know the impact that you had on people's lives depending on what you was pitching out here. You don't know what you was doing to people, how you was literally hurting people out here. You don't know. The law of the land got to come back around, bro. I couldn't get my wealth in hustling, and I didn't go out as no little fish, and I wasn't the biggest, but I definitely wasn't no little fish when I quit. I tell you that right now. The stores out here in Nashville about me, everybody already knew I had it. I always had it. You know what I'm saying? I can talk about it now because I done let it go. But that's just my stories from the past, so y'all can kind of see why I talk the way I talk and how I carry on, bro. I had a life before I changed it up and went straight to lawn care. Y'all seen how I came out last year. For anybody that's new to start following me, go look at all my clips from last year when I was burning on there and drinking good, because I wanted to disclose full disclosure on what my life was. It wasn't none of that hiding, how everybody else be doing. It wasn't none of that with me. I gave everybody full disclosure. You nobody do it like me. But that's enough on the past. Let's go on and keep the show going. But every Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to give y'all a story from my past so y'all can get more in tune on who John Crowley is. Government name Jonathan Crowley. Y'all can get to know me as a person. You know what I'm saying? On the obstacles that I had to overcome in life to get here right now. To where I'm swimming with the sharks in Nashville, one of the coldest lawn cutters, landscapers in the country. In the country. Ain't nobody striping like me. That's how confident I am within this field that I chose. I'm nice with it out here. But we're going to move on in the show. So let's see what's next on the thing. Okay, I done talked about the robbery, you know what I'm saying? I knew I was going to go off on that for a little while. So the next thing is, I'll always like to talk about, local things that's going on right now. And there's a special election that's coming up Tuesday. For anybody that stay in Nashville, Tennessee, if you live in District 7, there's a special race down here to where they trying to basically flip a red state. They trying to have more of a blues within a certified red state down here in Tennessee. And it's happening in District 7. On December the 2nd, you have until 7 p.m. at night. The candidates are, you have an Afton Bain, female, Democratic, It's running for Congress, and then you have the counterpart. And let me explain something to you about this Mrs. Bain. Okay, she was endorsed by Vice President Harris. Came down here and did a whole spiel for her to try to get her over the hump, get her a push in office. You know what I'm saying? The counterpart, which you have a Matt Van Epps, the president of the United States, did something by way of satellite communication to actually endorse him to make sure that he wins. Through all the clippage that came up here lately, a representative, I believe it was of Mrs. Bain, reached out and just asked if I can make sure that I, use my platform to let everybody know how big this special election is for Congress. Because everybody knows Congress, the Republicans kind of losing some seats right now. So Democrats trying to make a push. I'm just giving the news out. I'm not swaying no direction. I'm just letting y'all know what the news is. It's a special election, and they asking everybody in District 7 just to voice your opinion. Just get out there and vote. Either way, you know what I'm saying? Just get out there and vote, make your voice heard. And it's just what it is right now, man. So there's just some local news that's going on right now in Nashville. So, and then we'll go ahead and proceed on to the next piece of news, man. And for some reason, man, my guy Trump, man, President Trump, man. Oh, hold on, let me take a swig real quick. Cause every time I start talking about this individual, it makes me chuckle, man. Cause I tell people, regardless on how y'all view this man, cause I don't care for a lot of his policies. I do not. You know what I'm saying? Cause I think it's just not right on how he's doing certain things. And then me personal situation, I've watched somebody that I cared about dearly, like a brother to me, get swept up in some of the policies that he has pushed out. You know what I'm saying? And that was really, really hurtful to me, the way I cried over this situation. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. But before I get into what he's done, like, I see what he's doing, whether y'all like him or not. That's real power right there. Like, I've never seen nobody wield that power like he's doing and have people come kiss the ring, man. I've never seen this before in my life, bro. He's got people willing to go up and just kiss the ring, bro, and give and like and basically put him on the platter and just boast him up. And then with them not knowing, with them seeing, they watch, if you ever go against him, his whole movement that he has turns on individuals. And I'm like, man, that's real power right there for real. I'm talking about true mob boss on almost on some stuff. But right now, let me get to what his administrator has done right now. But this is what some of my advisors, I call people for certain news things for my, how the news agents, they got their little sources and everything. I have mine. So, and they say right now, the Trump administration has halted all decisions regarding asylum seekers. So anybody who's come to try to get asylum, running, fleeing from prosecution in their country, he has halted it all. And I think it's leading up to, like a mass shooting has happened with the National Guard, something of that nature. I'm really not sure what happened. But because that happened, he has halted everything. So anybody that's applying for asylum seekers or anything, it don't matter where you at, it's paused. So if you was almost on the verge of receiving what you was supposed to receive, halted right now. That's the news right now that's going on. So, and a lot of people took time to do it the right way. I don't think that they should be halted. It's just personal opinion. I don't think it. But with the administration, they feel like they halted it. And I think the representative that whoever did this shooting, I think he's from Afghan, okay? Because another report came through to where he halted all the visas traveling with halted all the visas traveling with Afghan passports. So anybody trying to come over here from Afghan, you can't get in right now. He done halted it out. So they stuck over there. So it's people, let's say it's individuals that had jobs over here and everything. They ain't meaning nobody no harm. He put them all in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? For real. Just like how I've watched this administration villainize a whole group of people. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because I got somebody that's kind of close to me right now. You know what I'm saying? This legal U.S. citizen had ICE bumped down on her with the mask on and everything, bro. Had her scared to death. Asking her for ID and everything, shaking her down, bro, on some terror, on some true terror type stuff. And when they realized she was legit, bro, they had to let her go, man. I remember when I received the call and I was like, "Are you serious?" She was like, "Dude, they had on masks and regular." I said, "Man, that was ICE." I said, "Golly, they running around here like that." I said, "Man, this is really interesting just at the climate that's out here right now." Now, for the individuals who don't care, for the individuals that don't care, this is what I want y'all to do. Put yourself in them other people's shoes, man. Just put yourself in the shoe. Everybody hollering about they could have went the right way. Check this out. Put yourself in their shoes, man, when they coming from countries that is so fucking awful down there in their country. And they coming up here to try to get a better life. These people work hard. They work harder than people, Americans. And then it's so fucked up, the climate right now. This level of fear. And I don't like people that like to just be fear mongering, you know what I'm saying? That make people that fearful to do things. I don't too much care for people like it because I just think they bullies. But just reverse the course and put yourself in their shoes on how hard it takes you to get up here. And they trying to go through the right process. They doing everything in their power to try to do it the right way. And then this happens, this climate happens. Put yourself in their shoes and see, can you stomach that shit, man? I put money on it. Y'all can survive nowhere in some of them countries in some of them conditions. Y'all don't know. That's why when they get up here, they work circles around these Americans. The same reason why y'all crying and complaining about y'all situation, they got it 15 or 20 times worse down in their country. You couldn't stomach it. But then y'all wanna try to villainize them like all of them and group them in the same boat. That's just what people do, man. That shit low down as hell, man. Cause y'all can survive down there. And y'all so sheltered here in this country. And how they do these people is so fucking low down, man. And y'all couldn't stomach it. If the roles changed and y'all got done like that, it'll be fucked up. And I'm black. Just know this. You see my skin complexion. You know how it is in America. And I don't even like taking it there. I don't. You know how hard it was for me. Y'all know what it is. We not gonna go down that road, but y'all know what time it is. But it didn't hold me back though. Just know that. I ain't trying to race bait or nothing like it. The same reason why it's so hard for me is why I'm so damn cold out here in Nashville right now. That's why I had to be one of the best in the country before I got an opportunity. They had to see me keep coming and outstriping all of these other companies before I got my opportunity. And that's real talk. I know what it is. How about that? You think it was fair to me? It wasn't. It wasn't fair. Am I griping on it? Absolutely not. But because the reason why it wasn't fair, that's why I'm so good at what I do. That's why I have so much of an influx of customers coming in to give me an opportunity right now. Because I put my skill on this internet, the power of your hand. Y'all witness me grow out here. That's real talk. It's just the facts. I'm not mad about it because it borned me. You see what I'm saying? Phoenix out of the ashes, out of all the stuff I went through from my past and everything, how society will paint a picture of you. Because you made a mistake and they will not let you live it down. And I have skills to pay the bills and administration stuff I ran a whole medical practice by myself, me and the doctor, and I did everything but see the patient. And his practice went up, and he did all. I watched this man make so much extra money the moment I got hired there. I was so good at St. Thomas Hospital and structuring things, they still using my training material to this day. And I haven't worked there in 10 years. Should I have got another opportunity when I made a mistake? I think I should have, but I didn't. I didn't. But it's okay because I had to work as hard as I had to work. That's why y'all see these skills out here that I be showcasing, letting individuals know, don't worry about it. Work on your skill. They can't take that away from you. Regardless on how it happened, your equipment broke down, truck broke down, everything. Once you get back, they cannot take your skills away from you. They can't take your knowledge that you have learned through trial and error. It's going to make you so much stronger. And then if you this ethnic persuasion, it's going to make you even more stronger. You see what I'm saying? Because we have to work so much harder to get there. But when you get there, what make you think you're going to stop working hard? You go smoke past them. You see what I'm saying? It's just what it is. I can't make it up. I'm living through it. I'm going through it right now. I can't make this shit up. I wish I could. I wish it was all false, but it's not. I went through it. It's the truth. So, not to go too far off of that, but just kind of letting y'all know how my mind turned, what I went through to get to this position that I'm in right now. To where I have so much confidence just to be myself. And just to be able to speak on things and not worrying about the critics, what they go say. Oh, he this, he that, he think he this. All of them opinions didn't put no money in my pocket, nor did it help me when I was going through it. Where was these opinions at when I really needed it? Nowhere to be found. Since I have the confidence to put myself on camera, oh, here they come right now. Now here come all the opinions. Where was these opinions when I needed you? Nowhere. How can I take this seriously, man? That's why this stuff don't bother me. It don't. That's why I'm able to get up every morning and just go off the top of my head, unscripted, everything on my top of the morning. I don't rehearse that. I let myself be moved by something bigger than me. And I bring it how it should be said. That's it. That's it. Now, before I get off topic, I know it's a big story out here right now on what happened yesterday. Bro, what happened, man? You was going crazy out there. What the fuck? Bro, what happened, man? What happened? Okay, let me go. We're going to get off of that. We're going to touch bases on this truck situation. Yesterday was interesting for me. It was a regular day starting off. My truck broke down while I was live. I was actually live when it happened. I'm driving down my normal route. I'm hitting the gas. Next thing I know, my truck gets shut off. And I didn't even realize it shut off because when I hit the gas, my muffler be spitting. It be talking to me. It wasn't talking to me. I said, oh, my truck done cut off. But I was still doing 45, 50 miles an hour. So I had a decision to make, okay? I'm coming around corners and everything. I said, okay, you got to pick the best location so you don't obstruct traffic, number one. And also, you got to pick a location so the tow truck can come get you. And you have a safe location so you can disconnect your trailer because I was going to need my other truck to come pull my trailer. I was in a perfect location. The best location that I could have chosen for the situation I was in. I said I was parked there. We got the arrangement for the tow truck was on the way. Everything was peaches and cream. Then here come Metro Police behind. Okay. He pulled up. Said what's going on. Of course, I broke it down. Look, the truck just cut off on me. I already got my tow truck on the way. I showed him the ETA was between 10:10 to 10:50. I think this time it was like 9:20. It was 9:20. So he went back to his car, I believe, came back, and then he was hollering about, well, we can't let you wait right here because we can't let you, because like you in the middle of the street. And I'm like, okay, traffic is still going by. Everything is peaches and cream. Then he said, okay, I'm going to have to call my tow truck just to get it moved out of the street. And I was like, okay, I have my other truck coming. It's going to pull my trailer. I was explaining the situation. Okay. Check this out, because I was in the area to where I couldn't really push the truck out of the street because I needed some bricks to hold my trailer in place. So when my other truck came, my sister then brought my other truck. I mounted the trailer down, chalked the tires so the trailer wouldn't move. Then my truck was free. Okay. Then I was like, okay, cool. So then, okay, finally, I say 35 minutes went by. We out there waiting. Maybe 40 minutes went by. They tow truck pulled up. You know what I'm saying? This is where the story gets real interesting right here. They tow truck pull up. Before this guy put my truck on jack my truck up out of the street, I asked him, how much are you going to charge me to move my truck from here 30 feet over there? Guess what he told me? Wait a minute. I'll give you the total here in a minute. I said, okay, it can't be that much then. He did not give me the total. I said, okay. I said, I bet. I just ran with it because I said, okay, let me just, that way I get this truck moved, I get my trailer out the street. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my equipment taken care of. The guy lift my truck up, pull it over there. Then he come back across the street when I'm trying to let the trailer down on my black truck that was out there. It'll be $150. I said, for what? I said, why didn't you tell me this when I asked you before you picked it up? Why didn't you tell me it was going to be $150? Because you wouldn't have touched it. You wouldn't have touched it. I wasn't going to give you no $150 so you move it 30 feet. I wouldn't even allow that to happen. It's just the principle of it. He did not tell me a price until he got it on the truck. That's nowhere near right. I went to that police officer's car. I said a couple of choice words to him. I said, this is low down. This is low down. My car, traffic was going around. It wasn't impeding nothing. This was not a regular work day. This was none of that. This was on the weekend. So to get my truck dropped over there, I was put in a situation where I didn't have no choice but to pay the $150 to get him to drop my truck. Now, if I would have knew, he wouldn't even put my truck on the trailer. So okay, let's keep the story going. So after he dropped my truck, I'm like, I can't believe this happened to me. Check this out. After he dropped my truck, 10 minutes later, here come my tow truck. That we pay for this service that we use. We pay for this. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is low down how this is happening. What if I didn't have the money to pay the tow truck guy to move my truck over there? I'm looking for the regular people right now because this ain't right. Because I think at least I should have been notified. Look, there's going to be a charge just to move it over there. That way, give you a heads up. You know what I'm saying? At least be notified some type of way. But no. It wasn't none of that. You know what I'm saying? So my tow truck comes, picks my truck up, takes it to the shop that we already paying for free. We already paying for it, but it wasn't no $150 charge. So the question comes, what's the reasonable amount of time that somebody has to get their car moved? Now, I understand if my truck was in the middle of the road, it had to get moved. I get that. I get it. It's got to get out of the street because you really impeding traffic. Cars was moving back and forth. They was able to turn in, go wherever they want to go. So I'm looking at it like, okay, it might be something else going on here. And then when we start filming, you see how he was waving? Like he was, okay, yeah, we hype about this. I'm like, okay. Okay. So then that's when y'all seen like we start questioning things that why did this happen? Why? Like what documentation do you have in place? He should have let. Okay, check this out. Now, when other representatives came out there, okay, they said that they helped people push their car out the way. When supervisors came, they mentioned they helped people push their car out the way. You think this gentleman mentioned anything like that? He did. He did not. You know what I'm saying? That's what the supervisor said. So, and I can't really share too much more, but I didn't have the opportunity to get it to push out of the street because I was on an incline. I needed help, more bodies to help me push it out the street. I did everything in my power. I had my other truck out there. We could have pushed it out the street. I already had the tow truck. I did everything in my power to get the situation resolved. It didn't happen like that for me. I was forced, and it was not impeding traffic. It was not. So for the individuals that had, because I don't even like going back and forth because they opinion mean nothing. People don't know the situation, and then they always want to be so quick to make comments and everything. That's why I'm so glad I have tough skin. I'm so glad because I'm not going to go back and forth with these people that don't know the situation. I'm not going to do it. It's just beneath me. You know what I'm saying? They telling me like what? Oh, you always want to play the victim role. What victim? What about the people who don't have the money and they get put in a compromised situation to where it's during Christmas time right now? They might need their 150 to get to help provide for Christmas. Light bills and everything getting ready to go up. They might need that one. I'm in a fortunate situation where I had plenty of 150s put up to pay for that. But what about the small people that didn't have it? Or would it be different if I looked different? I don't know. I don't know. Because a lot of people, the comments were saying he wouldn't have did that if you was this and the third. And then there was some individuals that stopped out there. Different ethnic persuasion than I am. It was Caucasian or fair-skinned. Even they stated something that was so diabolical to me. They said this is a systematic problem out here. I didn't say anything. They called it. How would somebody fair-skinned that looked like the officers call something out like it? Ain't that amazing? But out of all of that situation that happened, did you see the clip of them glyphics that I laid when I finally got to my property? Did you see the stripes going down the hill? Did I let that situation stop me from still going out because I had a second work truck? I was already ready because I'd been there before where I broke down and didn't have nowhere to go. I learned from my experience. I had the 150 to give them. I just didn't like the principle of the situation because I think it could have been resolved totally different. It could have. So processes got questioned. They should. That's how you keep honest people honest. You question things. That's the only way. And I'm looking out for the little people who didn't have it. What if I did not have the 150? Do y'all know what would have happened? They would have took my truck to their impound lot. The moment it entered their lot, it would have been another 150 on top. Then every day that went by, it would have been more money that I would have had to pay. What if I didn't have it? But I had a policy in place like AAA or something like that was gonna come get. Stop, hey, stop, man, stop. I got you. Stop. Get over there. Go play. Here. You messing up my life. What if I was in a situation where I didn't have it? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking out for them people. That's why we question the policy. It wasn't just for me. It was for the little people out here. Because I busted my ass to make sure I'm in a situation where I have. What about the people who's not there yet? What about them? They gonna end up paying $300-400 and that ain't even include. That's just getting their car back. What about getting it repaired? What about them? if they was in the situation, I bet they would have wanted a little bit more mercy. But they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They was on the other end. So you look at situations like that. Okay, you gonna just push it under the rug because you got it, you gonna get through. But what about the little people? That's how people so fucked up out here. That's why I give out so much free game on my platform, because I'm looking out for the little guy. I ain't charging nobody nothing for this free gems that I be dropping. I ain't charging nobody nothing because I look out for the little person. Because I was once one of them. I don't get to a level and forget where the fuck I came from. Never. Never. Why y'all think I went to the expo and put on for our industry like that? Didn't charge nobody nothing. Looking out for the little people to make sure they had a good time. That's all I can say. Just what they want from? You see what I'm saying? What else I gotta do? Throw my fucking hands up, man. Let me take a swig real quick. Oh, y'all give me a sec. It be stuff like that that be going on out here, but people be cool with it. They'll sweep it up underneath the rug, but what about the person who ain't ready? They need that 150 right now. It's hard out here. Inflation is tough. Okay, I'm in a situation where I'm okay. 2 years ago, I might not have been okay right now. That truck would have went down. I would have been devastated. Then I got to come out with another 150 real quick. Are you serious right now? And I'm showing you I got my tow truck on the way. You could have let me call them. Okay, what's your ETA? I got police out here. Can you give me an ETA, man? They putting pressure on me. No. No. We gonna get it out right now. Man, all right, cool, man. And then he forced me to have to pay. Well, I'm like, man, I'm not finna go through this. And that's all I can really say on it. I'll let y'all know what the final outcome will be. That's still to be determined. I will find out what the situation is with Old Reliable on tomorrow when the shop opens. It's already out that way now. Let's see how much it's gonna cost me. And for the individuals that stay, why don't you just go on and go get another truck, Man, I got a vision that I'm working in my mind. It's my vision. If it happened to you, go get you another truck. I'm trying to do something right now. And it ain't nothing wrong with that truck other than whatever it is. I'm trying to do something. I don't need no unnecessariness on my name right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in a delicate ass situation that a lot of people don't know about, but you will know. Just stay with me because y'all don't know my life and how far I came. And the safety nets that I have in place, y'all don't know me like it. People be so quick to judge you. That's why I'm so glad I have tough skin and I'm not finna go back and forth with these people that don't know me. Why would I do such a thing? Why would I show these individuals they even getting to me? They ain't help me do nothing. Like I said before, where was all y'all advice when I was broke trying to figure it out? You was nowhere around. You was concerned with your own life. It took me to build my confidence up to put myself on a platter like I'm doing right now. That's what it took. And then here come all the comments. The keyboard warriors, STD ass people. I call them scared to death ass people. You won't put yourself on the camera like me. Can you articulate yourself like me? Of course you can. Keyboard warriors. Keyboard warriors. hey, you gotta have fun. I promise I'll be having fun with it. But that's the situation that really just happened. And I'm really looking out for the little people, man, because I just know it's hard out here. I hear the stories. I hear what's going on. Ace, come on in. Ace. I hear the stories on what's going on. And I know how hard it is on people, man. I never act like I'm better than nobody. For real, never. Because I remember when I used to struggle. And then when I see people that act like they better than people, especially in this industry, it take everything in my power not to cut their ass down, bro. For real. When I see people draining from this industry for the guys who just looking for wisdom just to try to, I know I can get there. They charge it and they draining the industry, man. I see it. It ain't my business to just speak on that shit, but I be seeing it, and it ain't on me because I cut them deep. Cause they not even as cold as me, and they be doing all this shit, man. For real. They ain't live a lifestyle that I lived before I chose this, but it's so many of them out here that y'all did. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never dealt with that addiction of hustling, addiction and other shit. They ain't never dealt with that. They ain't never dealt with it. And I ain't mad at them for not. But don't try to tell somebody that actually went through it. And there's a lot of people out here capping like they did. And I just have to let them live, bro. Cause like, that's all I'm gonna do is let them live. Cause like, just leave me the hell alone, let me live, and let me keep doing my thing. I'm gonna let them live. For real. But it's like, it's different. That's all I can say. It takes everything in my power not to just, you know what I'm saying, just take the high road, as my sister always try to tell me, just take the high road, man. It ain't worth it. Just take the high road. And sometimes it be hard not to just get on here and cut some of these people down. All the shenanigans, everything, it be tough for me. Cause especially in this industry that did so much to help me out and put me in this situation. Just to see it go down in this industry, it pisses me off so much, man. I ain't gonna even lie. And I'm gonna have my days. Some days I might get on here and just go ham and cheese on a couple of them because it just ain't getting no sense. But they be letting me live though. They don't really be saying too much out the way to me no more. Like not like how they was in the beginning when I first started. They kind of pipe down a whole lot because they know I'm colder than them. It just took a while for me to keep reiterating how I'm better than them. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones who do all this talking. Ain't nobody consistently. They got 1 or 2 yards. They show how they striping. Man, I'm striping 50, 60 yards different. Different angles, cliffs, hillsides. They striping flat surfaces. Man, get out of here, man. Stop it, man. Cut it out, man. Stop it. We don't need to do this. Cut it out. All type of shrubs I'm trimming. Know how to take it in the proper way. Doing flower beds, most about nobody shows the middle process when they cleaning out a flower bed. Nobody shows how clean it is. Bro, they spraying that stuff on there and throwing the mulch on top. Am I lying? Am I flying? Ain't nobody showing it. You see what I'm saying? So, let me take a swig. Y'all stay with me. But, hey, this is going to be the conclusion of the Real Talk Live. For real. It just sometimes y'all just don't know how hard it is to take the high road, man, and just let the boomerang come around and hit people. Y'all just don't know how hard it is, man, for real, because I be wanting to give it to some of these people. Bro, I be wanting to cut them down so bad and joke on them, call them all type of gremlins and hobbits and Frodo Baggins, man. I be wanting to get, oh my goodness. Damn gizmos out here, man. I be oh my goodness. I'm gonna let him live though. I promise I'm gonna let him live. Someone deserve it. Bro, long they leave me alone, bro. I swear to God, let me live, man. For real. I'm nothing like y'all. Let me live. And I'll let y'all live. But if it's somebody that's gonna constantly come for me, bro, they finna be all type of I have a vivid imagination. I watched a lot of cartoons and stuff back in the day. I watched a lot of old school movies where these people kind of resemble a lot of the characters that I used to see back in the day. They resemble a lot of them. And I be doing my best. For real. And not to try to he said, oh, look at someone and said, no, not the gizmos and the Frodo. I, I promise I be trying, man. But Hey man, just let me live. Cause it's a couple of them, they big cappers out here. I'm talking they woo wee, woo wee, it's night and day. Cause when you meet them in real life, I'ma shut up right now. This ain't the moment for it, cause I gotta wait for some. This ain't the time for it to open up them can of worms right now, bro. I ain't trying. I'ma let them live, man. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. This is another successful episode of Real Talk Live on Sundays, the way I'm gonna talk on shit that's going on in the world, stuff that's going on locally. I'm gonna give y'all another story from my past on what I went through to get here. And the stories is just gonna get more and more interesting, so I can tell y'all literally like how far I came and how deep down the rabbit hole that I go in that other world. For real, to let y'all know. And a lot of people, y'all really just don't know how deep I went down that rabbit hole, man. And it's gonna be fun just explaining it to y'all for real. Just real firsthand knowledge of it. So again, thank y'all for tapping in. I come off of here one at a time. YouTube, I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Y'all stay with me. We're gonna have more clippage coming up tomorrow. It's a brand new work week. We're gonna get a lot of work done. It's gonna be another successful week. I have a lot of work to go. My season is nowhere near over because I have built up my company. So it's in a fortunate situation to still be working real tough right now. So y'all stay with me, YouTube. Appreciate y'all tapping in.